Hey guys, welcome back to It's Shay's World. So today we are going to be talking about Camp Joy. Yay! Yes, we're gonna talk about Camp Joy today because I just want to talk about like all the great moments that I've had there, my experience. Right now I'm sitting outside my school. That's why I look like I'm in a garage because I am. Let me turn my car off though. Yeah. We're gonna talk about Camp Joy. So I applied to Camp Joy, I want to say it was May of 2016. I just had came back from college, and I'm like, I need something to do. I can't spend this whole summer just sitting here bored. So my friend, Delu, well, she's a friend. She's older than me, but I still consider her as my friend. Delu was like, apply to Camp Joy. I think you'll be a great fit. You know, you fun, you like kids, do it. And I'm like, no, me at a camp, I'm scared of animals, for one. Outside, don't do it. Swimming, I couldn't do it. You know what I mean? It was so many things that I was just like, no, I'm not about to do that. But then I just thought about it like, okay, this might be a great experience for me to come out of my shell and meet new people. So I applied on like a Friday. That Monday, I had received an email basically stating like I got the interview. I did the interview with Clay. He interviewed me and I was like, I'm Shay. He was like, what's up, Shay, in the morning? I'm Clay in the afternoon. And like, that was just his thing over the phone. And I'm like, okay, he's kind of, cool. So he was like, can you come in on da-da-da-da to do your background check and to fill out the rest of your onboarding papers? And I'm like, okay. So I didn't know where Camp Joy was. I had never been. So my aunt took me and we driving and I'm like, what the heck? This is the middle of nowhere. Like, it was just trees and, you just going through backwoods. And I'm like, Lord have mercy, what did I just get myself into? So I went, did the paperwork, went back to the car. I'm just like, okay, they just made me do that for no reason. Like, I'm not gonna get it. He called me again, like after I did everything. He was like, hey, I know this is short notice, but our staff training is next week. Can you come? And I'm like, what the heck? I just came from school. I wasn't fully unpacked. I was trying to figure out, everything. But I'm like, this is a job. I need this job, and yeah. So I figured it out. I ended up getting like all the money that I needed to get like summer stuff because I don't do nothing in the summers but really be in the house. So I had to buy me shorts and water bottles and a tote and so much, a backpack, everything. So I went. I got dropped off, and as soon as I got dropped off, I'm like, I need to call my mama so she come back get me. This is not for me. I'm not doing this. Like, it just was different for me. So, I get out the car and it's this PNG building, and it's like the welcoming building. So everybody's like mass people, a lot of people there. Like, I think my first summer we had like 90. Was it 90 people? I want to say it was like 90 counselors, support staff. It was 90 of us there. So everybody was there and whatever. So they like, sign in over here. Everybody's so nice. Like, mind you, before I went to Camp Joy, I was not like preppy and all that. I was just like, okay. So everybody like, hi, I'm such and such. And what's your name? Let me find you. Or they found me and stuff like that. So they was like, okay, you're going to go into this golf cart and they're gonna take you over to your cabin. You can move in, make up your bed, and then come back to this building once you're done. And I'm like, okay. So when I got on the cabin, I mean on the golf cart, I met Grace and Ashley. It was kind of crazy because me, Grace, and Ashley, later on in the story, you'll know how tight we are. But I met Grace and Ashley, and it was just like a brief little meet. Like, we all put our stuff on the thing, we got in. And we went in, we went to where our bed was going to be, and that was that. We didn't really conversate. It wasn't like a conversation for real. Because I was very shy when everybody had first met me. Like, when you first meet me, I'm shy, I'm reserved, because I'm, like, very observant. I want to see how everything plays out first before I get to meet people. And then it was different because at first I thought I was the only black person there, so I'm like, oh my god, this is about to be crazy. I've never worked with a whole lot of Caucasian people, but I'm just like, okay, it's gonna be fun. Like, it's gonna be fun. It's not gonna be weird. It's not gonna be crazy. So we all walked back over to PNG. We sit down and like they had like drinks and stuff like that. They was talking to us, and the director Joe, he gave us this big staff manual, and it was like big to the point where we were sitting there every day for 5 days, early in the morning to late at night doing activities, doing so much stuff. And it was pretty cool. So after like the first day, I was still quiet. Second day, I was just like, I don't really know if I want to talk. I don't know if I want to say anything. So we would have candle chats. So in my cabin, I think I had everybody that was loud like me, like fun like me, like everybody else in the other cabin, they were fun, but they were more of like the quiet fun. My cabin, we turned up every night. Like every night once I opened up, I did so much funny stuff that they can name, like the people who I was in the cabin with, they can name like everything that I've ever done. It was just fun. Like it just was fun. So I want to say about the third night, I probably was just open, the way that I broke out my shell was Grace had a book, and it was about like was he a slave owner? I can't remember. It was like an African American culture book that she was doing for school or something, or she was just reading just to understand like the nature of African Americans and things like that. You know what I mean? Most of these people were, when they came to camp, it was like, okay, it's a great experience, but we serviced a lot of African American kids. Like we serviced some Caucasian kids, some mass different race of kids, but the main thing was inner city Cincinnati urban kids. You know what I mean? It was a lot of them. So I know some people was just trying to figure out how they can, how they can fit into each kid's lives. How can I service this kid and or whatever. So she had this book, and everybody was like, Grace, what are you reading? And she was like, this is such, such, such. And she pointed me out like, Shay, you should know about him. And I'm like, what? And I just looked like, what do you mean? And she was like, you should know about him. Like, you've never heard of, I can't remember his name. And I'm like, no, I've never heard of him, but I have heard of this story. But I can't tell you this man's name. Like, off the top of my head, I don't know him. And everybody was like, oh my God, I might read it. And I'm sitting right there like, what the heck? Why she just single me out? But I was the only black person in the cabin. So it wasn't like she was being funny. It was just, she was just saying like, trying to make a connection, with certain people. So, that opened me up, and it was just like, okay, I could talk, and we all had like an open discussion about not racism, but just race and like things. And she was telling us about the book, and everybody was so engaged, and we all sat at the end of our beds and was like so excited to hear about whatever. It was like a girl's chat, and it was fun. So, after we did that, we ended up going like the dinner, and then like our cabin really started growing bonds. Like me and my bunkmate, God rest her soul, Audrey, we grew a connection, and then Ashley, Grace, Michaela, Taylor. It was like so many people in my cabin, and we all made like great connections with each other. So like throughout the day, we would just be like Shay or da da da, and we would just have our own inside jokes. And one of my best moments of my first summer was, I would have to say, being in a cabin with those girls. They taught me how to look outside of the box. Like I was so used to looking, from my point of view, and it's this and that, da da da. But they taught me how to really get in touch with my feminine side. They taught me how to really understand like somebody else's opinion, and it wasn't like a debate kind of understand their opinion. It was more of like this is my opinion, and I'm telling you this because I want you to get it, and I want to get what you're saying. And they really taught me that, because at first I still am in a way. Like, no, I don't want to hear what you got to say. And it's bad. But being at camp really opened my eyes to really trying to be at peace and be calm and not be so angry and not be so, stressed out. I guess one of my best moments would have been during staff training. Had to have been, we were in the cabin and I kept like passing gas. I was like the goofy, what the heck, Shay, and, I said something, and I was laughing real hard, and my laugh, everybody loved my laugh, and I was laughing super, super hard. And my bunkmate was like, Shay, shut the fuck up. And I was so weak. It was so funny because everybody, she didn't cuss for real. So she would just laugh and she'd be like, Shay, go to bed. Shay, don't make me come down there. Shay. And I just started laughing really hard. And I'm like, Audrey. And she was like, Shay, shut the fuck up. And when I tell you, the whole cabin was like laughing. And then we started talking about the toilet outside of the cabin because at camp we were in a yurt. So a yurt is like a circular cabin. It got bunk beds all throughout it. It's like a open center, and it's like a porta potty outside, next to it. So a lot of people I was scared to go to the restroom at nighttime because I'm like, it's like a big hole. You could feel air. It was just, what the heck? So we used to call it the shit taker, the shitter, the shithole. It was just mass things. We were, sleep deprived. We were just talking. And when I tell you, even though it was 5 days, it felt like a lifetime. And it felt like it was a good feeling, like no bad vibes. Everything about my first summer was amazing. Like, I mean, down to kids coming the next week after we had staff training. Like, we had 1 week to get whipped in shape to be able to take care of 2,000 kids. 2,000 kids a summer. We reached so many goals. We reached so many families. We touched on so many different topics when it comes to foster care, when it comes to independent living, when it comes to the camp for Enjoy It All, when it comes to heart problems, cancer, when it comes to sickle cell. It was so many like different things that we all touched. It was like crazy how at the end of summer you can't be like, wow, that was amazing. I want to do it again because how was I able to help a kid that's in foster care understand that it's somebody who cares about you. It's somebody who loves you. It's somebody who will do anything for you. When I tell you, grow a love for these kids that's like no other. And they become your own kid because it's like, I know your story now. I know, where you at. I understand it. At first it's like, you get this paper about a kid and you read it and it's like, dang, like, okay, how I'm going to deal with this week? How are we as counselors going to adapt to this kid? Or how we going to, make this work? But then once the kid come, they not what the paper say. So when they say don't judge a book by its cover, we didn't do that. So when we read the paper, it's like, okay, we got to be cautious of this and that. But once they came, these kids was the nicest, most respectful, most sweetest kids who just wanted to have a good time from their group home or from the hospital. Some kids only know the hospital. Literally. All they know is they nurses, they doctor, they know their moms is coming, they know that they're sick, they know these things. But they get 1 week to not think about none of it at all. Like, it be out of their head. Like, they don't worry about it. Yes, they're in pain, but that don't matter because we're taking them to do an obstacle course. We're taking them swimming. We're taking them on hikes. We playing games. We playing having a dance every Thursday. Different themes. Every week was a different theme. Even in your cabin, you were creating pranks. You were making magical moments for these kids that we don't know when they leave here, is they going to have that again. But we knew that week they was there, they was going to have the most fun ever. The most fun ever. Like, to the point where even though the counselors was there for 10 weeks? I want to say 10 weeks. We had started in June. We didn't get finished till August? That's not 10 weeks. It might be 2 weeks. I think it's 10 weeks. I don't know. From June to August, we worked nonstop. 5 days a week. We were off on weekends, but if you wanted to pick up weekend, we had weekend camps. You could. Staff meetings. We had reflections on Fridays to where we could debrief how our week went and let emotions out. Like, that was the first place where I felt okay to cry. Like, I'm not a crier, but it was so many situations where I'd be frustrated or anything, and I would just, at them staff meetings, when you hear somebody else, what they did for a child, oh my God, it gives you goosebumps. It makes you like, dang, like, we doing this you know, this is our purpose. So it was amazing. It was amazing. We had the beginning of the week campfires, early morning swim. I learned how to swim in Camp Joy. I had never ever been able to swim, but Kay Kelly taught me how to swim. Kate taught me how to swim, and when I tell you, I have lived life. Now that I've been there, I feel like I've did something. I finally did something that I can say that I'm proud of. You know, that's not stopping just with there, but I did it for 3 summers, and I got stories for days. So if you guys really want to hear more about my Camp Joy experience, like, this is just summarizing, and I'm just talking, you know, memorizing about the first, you know, my first support staff. But if you want to hear more about Camp Joy, I'll do more videos. You just got to let me know. Just let me know if you want me to do more videos on it, and I will. I'll probably bring in, it'd be fun if I could get some of my co-counselors to, you know, we talk about the great moments. I know we can't share like everything about the kids, but we can share our best moments, like our favorite pranks that we did and all of those things. But yeah, my first staff training was amazing. It was amazing. It was the best thing ever. We did this thing where we had to, at the end of our training, we did a follow me speech, and we had to write a whole speech about why we should have kids follow us, or, you know, even anybody around us should follow us. Why should somebody look up to you, basically? And when I tell you, it was like the best magical moment ever in time. We were at the basketball court, but we were up under the little pavilion, the LP, and we sat up under it, and we sat in a circle, and it was our support staff, our director, both of the managers for both camps, and then everybody, 90 people up under this little bitty, I mean, it's small, this little bitty LP. And we sat there, had not lanyards, what is that called? Are they called lanyards? I think it's called lanyards, where the light and the thing, you hold it. Sat up under there with those, and everybody went around. And when I tell you, everybody was just, we cried. We were crying so hard. And then, like, they were playing music and things like that. And it started getting dark. And it was just like, okay, cool. It was getting a little chilly, but we didn't care. As somebody started to talk, I don't know if it was Nolan. Somebody started to talk and tell their story. And it was, like, the most passionate story in the world. Telling their story. And when it started raining. And I mean, like, not like a little bit of rain. It was pouring down. Lightning, like, to the point where we were sitting right here, lightning was right there, and we looked at it like, and it was just like, okay, well, this is a magical moment, you know. And it was just amazing. It was amazing. I feel like camp made me be my best self. Like, it made me the person that I am. It made me have the best of friends ever. I might not talk to these people all the time, but when I tell you, every single person that I worked with from 2016 to 2018, was it 2018? I want to say it was 2018 or 2019. All those people that I worked with those summers, I even had campers who became counselors because of me. Ain't that something? That makes my heart so, like, warm. It makes me, you know, just so happy that I changed your life just enough for you to become something that I was. But yeah, I can go on. I'm not going to keep going. If y'all would like more videos about my Camp Joy stories, and if you would like for me to do like a Zoom where I can record it to where we all talk about our Camp Joy experience, you can do that. But also, if you're not doing anything during the summers, if the world opens back up, you know, and they're able to have camp, I want you guys to go to Camp Joy. I'm not going to be there, but you will have some amazing counselors who are trained to make your summer the best of all time. You're going to have the best summer ever. Make sure you go to campjoy.com or .org. I don't really know which one it is. Go to Camp Joy. Make sure you sign your kids up. They have great programs for parents who get assistance from the government. They have a lot of great mentoring programs. They got a lot of outdoor education things. So make sure you go on the website and sign your kids up for camp, even if it's virtual camp. Do it. You never know. You might see some of the people who I've named come back just to say hi to their old kids or anything. It's the best place ever. Make sure you let them know that Shay sent you to Camp Joy to come. I love you guys. Remember that I always tell you best. If you want another video about Camp Joy and I bring some of the other counselors and we tell you about some of the pranks that we put on each other or that we put on the kids, let me know. Like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know in the comments. Put your notification bell on. I love you guys. Thank you for sitting right here listening to me talk about Camp Joy. I know it was kind of boring, but that's my favorite place ever. Peace.